welcome to Connections. I'm your host, April Healy, and I'm sitting with my good friend, Matthew Hale, and he is a third-year staff member. Hi, Matthew.
Hey, thanks for having me.
I'm glad you're here.
It's great to be here.
Yay, welcome to the show.
Thanks.
So I would love to know about your immediate family. Can you tell me all about them?
Yeah, I am married to Katie. We got married in '09, so we're coming up, that's
almost
9 years,
yeah.
Almost 9 years. So,
okay.
Yep, and we have 3 kids. We just had a brand new baby. His name's Lincoln, and then Hudson is 3, just turned 3, and Ansley, our oldest, just turned 5.
That's awesome.
So it's fun. It's Katie is a rock star mom, so it's easy. It makes it easy on me. She's yeah. The kids are awesome. So
she is a rock star mom, and you're a rock star dad.
Yes, she has so good at the Danny Silk world and parenting world that teaches
awesome.
me a lot of stuff. So
oh my gosh, that's so good.
Awesome.
So how did you meet Katie?
We met in Reading. So I was at Georgia Tech going to college and took a year off of Georgia Tech and went out there for the 07-08 school year. Awesome. And she was a second year, I was a first year, and she grew up in Northern California, so I just met her and took her back, brought her back to Georgia. So,
that's awesome. Well, what was your love story? How did you notice her and fall in love with her and all that?
Yes, my great friend who was actually in my wedding, his name's Jake, and he's from Alaska, but he was in my class, and he had a crush on Katie's roommate.
Okay.
So Jake's like, hey, I gotta go hang out with this group of girls, and I need a wingman. I don't want to just go over there by myself. So
that's awesome.
Yeah, so I was the wingman, and
beautiful.
Jake and that girl didn't end up together, but me and Katie did.
Which is so cool for you.
The two wing people, and so yeah, she was so positive. She still is so positive. Tons of words of affirmation towards me when we were hanging out. I'm like, man, she's either like the nicest person in the world or she likes me. Let's just go with she likes me. So asked her out to coffee because that's what all Christians do.
Sure.
And that's the main start of it. So,
that's awesome. Yeah. Oh, that's beautiful.
Yeah.
What a beautiful love story.
It was fun.
That's great.
Yeah.
So I know you're Matthew Hale, Steve and Lindy's son,
Mm-hmm.
pastors of Bethel, Atlanta. So can you tell me some ways that they raised you that felt significant, that you either stood out to you still or that you bring into your own immediate family now?
So growing up with Steve and Lindy, do you want the PC answer or the real answer?
The real answer. I want the real.
I'm kidding. No, it was fabulous. Growing up, I think just amazing childhood, amazing growing up. I think growing up they just shared so much peace, so much positivity. My mom's the most positive person in the world.
Yeah.
She said, speak life, even before that was cool. She was, and I don't think I ever saw my parents fighting or yelling at each other ever. Even to this day, I don't think I've ever seen them yell at each other. So they did that behind closed doors, I'm sure. So, I think the biggest thing I learned from them, and that still happens, is they had this huge commitment to, keep connection and communication open.
Okay.
So whether we were moody teenagers, they never subscribed to the, oh, Matthew's going through a phase, he needs some space, just let him go through that phase. They were constantly, what's wrong? Tell us what's wrong.
Yeah.
Let's talk it through. We're not leaving this room until you tell me what's wrong. So we talked about everything, mostly around the kitchen table or even, on their bed in their bedroom.
Yeah.
Even growing up, we're way too old to be in your bedroom on your bed. So, but just everything from girlfriends to big decisions to stupid decisions, stupid problems. Even to this day, you know, all my siblings and me go to them for big decisions or big job changes or, you know, big stuff. So that's the huge thing where they just kept open lines of communication there.
Yeah, that's so cool. That's beautiful.
Yeah, that's
wow. Good. I love that. And then I know, so you had Ansley, and then 2 years later had Hudson, and he was born a couple months early, right?
Yeah.
And so can you tell us that story about Hudson and maybe some insight you got behind that?
Yeah, that was a crazy night. So Katie was 7 weeks early, so 33 weeks.
Okay.
She wakes up in the middle of the night. It's 3 a.m., 4 a.m., and she says, "I think I'm in labor. I think I feel like I need to push." She's saying these things.
Yeah.
And I was like, this is the last thing I want to be hearing right now, because one, you're premature, so you don't want to be hearing that.
Yeah.
And then also it's like the middle of the night. You know, can't you just do this
right.
in the normal daytime?
Right.
So we thought about it for several minutes, and we ended up, the whole like I think I need to push thing freaked me out.
Yeah.
I'm like, I'm usually a pretty laid back guy, but I was like, no, get in the car now. And
wasn't she arguing with you like, no, honey, it's fine. I think I'm good. I'm just gonna go back to sleep.
And I was like, she was gonna sleep it off, or I was like, no, let's get in the car now. Yeah. So in the middle of the night, we drive up to Atlanta, probably 30 minutes away, going 95, 100 miles an hour on the interstate.
Oh my gosh, Matthew.
Yeah, no one's on the road, which is amazing.
Yeah.
And we get to the hospital, and we think we're gonna get up there and they're just gonna give us a shot to stop labor, or Katie's gonna go on bed rest, or just stop the contractions. I don't know.
Right.
And right when we walk into the labor and delivery, she has what we learned later, a placenta abruption or ruptured placenta or something like, I don't know the term, but basically right when we walk into the labor and delivery, she starts gushing out blood.
Wow.
Really fast. And they rush, and the whole time me and Katie are super calm, really supernatural peace going on.
Yeah.
And they do the whole movie thing where they rush her back to the operating room, and they close the doors behind me. Matthew, you can't come, the whole Hollywood thing, like
totally.
Husband can't come past this line. And I'm looking through the glass, and there she goes. And they had an emergency C-section. Literally, when we got to the hospital to when he was born was 12 minutes.
Oh my gosh.
They didn't take off her shirt before the surgery. They didn't get her in any gowns or anything. They basically just got him out as quick as possible.
Yeah.
And you hear 1,000 times growing up, whenever you're squeezed, you'll see what comes out, or what's the line?
Right. That's it.
Yeah. You'll see what's come out when you're squeezed, and we were super squeezed, and you never know what's going to come out, but it was amazing. Like, we were so peaceful, calm. We found out later that Katie's blood pressure didn't spike. She was so calm, and the
awesome.
fact that she was so calm, she didn't lose a lot of blood because of that.
Yeah.
And we just found out later how intense it was. That if we would have been in the car on the way to the hospital or at home, that's one of the main ways the mom and the baby die from those basically blood loss. And so it was an amazing story. You never, anybody can be fun loving at Starbucks talking to friends, but when you're in that situation, or when you're you got 5 kids hanging on you and you're at Disney World, you see what attitude comes up out of you. You're like, oh crap, I didn't know what was in there.
Right.
And one of me and Katie's core values is just being strong in a storm, and just a rock and stable. And that really, it just, that came out, but also, that God has us,
Yeah.
You can look back and see 1,000 times when God was guiding you, but that was like right in your face, like, wow, God really was protecting us. So.
Yeah, thank you, Jesus.
Yeah, so
oh my
it was
gosh,
awesome.
wow, that's an amazing story.
And he's 3 years old. He was in the NICU for a few days, maybe 16, 17 days.
Which is not very long.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So and he's great.
And beautiful.
Yeah. He's a big, fat, good-looking
right.
kid.
He is a good, he's solid.
Yeah. Exactly. So.
And it's awesome. That's such a beautiful story. I love it.
Yeah.
Wow. And you can see God's picture through the whole thing and his beauty through the whole thing. So, well, cool, Matthew. Thanks for joining us. I loved having you on the show, and I loved hearing all your stories. And
thank you.
Yeah, you're just amazing. I love all the insight you give. So thanks
awesome.
for coming.
Cool.
And you guys, thanks so much for listening to Matthew. I loved hearing all of his wisdom, and I'm sure you did as well. And so I'll see you guys next time.